In this session, I want to explain about what's the core application inside the Zabbix. So Zabbix is open source, so you can download by free. You can download and then install your component. But if you want to get like support, more detailed support about the Zabbix, you can request also like installation support, troubleshooting support, or um, like uh, specific support that you want to get from the Zabbix organization. You can request that also for like the enterprise level. But basically, if you have understand about the Zabbix platform, Zabbix application, actually you don't need to get that one. You can go to the community and then you can ask someone, and then someone will answer your question. And or someone maybe the same issue with you, then they will give you also the feedback or answer about the issue that you have right now. So I want to talk focus today on that specific core application. What kind of application that Zabbix has on the monitoring tool. So first is Zabbix is open source. Yeah, it's definitely open source. And Zabbix also use the web server and PHP engine. So web server use Apache engine like HTTP or PHP. Then Zabbix component inside, we can see first is Zabbix proxy. Yeah. Of course, the Zabbix server itself is the core component. Then Zabbix proxy. Then we have the Zabbix sender also. Zabbix sender is the binary, the small binary to send the data or metric to Zabbix sender to the Zabbix server based on the format. So basically, the format, the first field is the host name. The second field is the key name, and the last one the value. So Zabbix Sender is very useful when you cannot install the agent, you cannot do anything else, just want to send the method to specific host, then Zabbix Sender is the one solution. And then we can also do Zabbix Cat. So using the Zabbix Cat, we can retrieve specific metric from some component that up then running Zabbix agent. So if we have the virtual machine and then has the Zabbix agent, then from the remote access, we can get specific metric using Zabbix Get. And then another core component also is Zabbix agent. Basically, it's just agent, install agent inside the virtual machine on the server. Then we can collect the data sent to Zabbix server. In the Zabbix agent, we have active and passive mode. We will talk this one more detail in another session. Then you can more understand what's kind of monitoring that Zabbix can do it. So then script is the native, the common thing that any tool should be flexible to running a specific script and then get the data, retrieve the data, and send the data. And this Zabbix also has capability to like collect the data using script. Then of course the important thing right now is about API. So REST API, the one solution also that Zabbix can collect the data from the specific component that has API. We can Zabbix itself has API, so you can manage a Zabbix using API also. For example, if you want to create the host, you want to create the item, you want to create the trigger, you want to inject like a monitoring or metric something that dynamic on the component side. You just access the component using API, collect the data, and then send to the Zabbix using API also. It's very easy. So if you see this one, so Zabbix server has Zabbix sender, agent, REST API, and script. Then another thing is about database. In this course, I want to explain to you how to integrate the Zabbix with its cluster using MySQL Galera cluster, or we can say also MariaDB Galera cluster. Galera cluster is a good thing to get the database cluster active or active passive. So basically, they use the sync to sync the data from one node to another node. So it's very powerful open source also that we can integrate as the database backend for Zabbix cluster. Another thing is PostgreSQL also. PostgreSQL also has also um, uh, cluster, yeah. So we can use PostgreSQL also to support Zabbix cluster. But in this course, I want to focus on the MySQL and I want to explain to you how to install Zabbix, how to install MySQL, how to install the Zabbix component, everything, then easy for us to understand and monitor a specific environment. Then for the dashboard, Zabbix actually has the dashboard also, the native solution dashboard. The dashboard for the version like Zabbix 4.2 much better than 4.0. Then they release also the next generation for the Zabbix that has capability to get more flexible, more a better UI, yeah, than um, the old version. But if we not satisfied about the Zabbix dashboard, then we can use open source also. Grafana. Grafana has the native solution. One plugin, we will retrieve all the data from Zabbix and then push the data, that metric, create the dashboard on the Grafana side. It's very simple. Then we can create single pane of glass using Grafana.